Breaking news. Baron Trump appoints King of Parmistan to head border control. This is Gymkata on Stinker Madness. Stinker Madness. Stinker Madness. Stinker Madness. We got the Stinker Madness. Hello and welcome to Stinker Madness, the podcast about bad movies for bad movie lovers by bad movie lovers. I'm your host, Justin. With me here, as always, are Sam and Jackie. I don't even want to hear any words out of you guys. I just want to go straight to Gymkata. No setup, no initial analysis. Let's just dive into this thing and do it all at the end.
Hi, Jackie.
No!
Hi, Sam.
No! Gymkata!
Hello, Kurt Thomas.
Hi.
He has a normal voice, except for the one spot that's real
He
bad.
is such a weenus. He is such a wiener. Ugh.
Yeah, there's no way that I believed at any point that he could have won the game.
Okay, let's, as I said, I don't want to do anything. Let's just go straight into this fucking thing, because I am pumped.
Okay.
Gymkata, if you haven't already heard, is a horrendously bonkers movie that you should watch out. It should be a staple of all bad movie lists, but it's about, I don't know. It's about a guy who's a gymnast.
Yeah.
I think he's a gymnast.
He's a gymnast. It shows him
Or
performing.
is that just like Kurt Thomas, like, hey, in case you didn't know, the star of this movie is a gymnast. Is John Cabot, the protagonist of this film,
a gymnast? Yes.
do we have verification of it?
Yeah,
or is it just some sprinkled in shots?
In the opening dialogue after the shots, they tell him that he has to add karate to his gymnastics.
Okay. All right. So he is a championship gymnast. Let's also infer that he's on the U.S. Olympic team, I'm assuming.
We're assuming this, yes.
He's Kurt Thomas, but named John Cabot.
Yes.
Yes.
And he is also either has previously worked for or is being recruited by the federal government at some capacity.
A very similar plot line to Never Too Young to Die.
Yes.
Because he's a gymnast and because his dad was a clandestine agent, he is obviously ready for action.
Mm-hmm.
So
we need somebody. Let's just get the son. Does he have any experience? No, it doesn't matter.
Is very foggy because it doesn't really reinforce the connection that his father is a colonel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, true.
Until like halfway through the movie.
Yeah.
Or that it was his dad at the beginning of the movie while he's doing gymnastics.
That's not even solidified until 3/4 of the way through the movie.
Oh, like you just kind of like see this guy and he gets shot with an arrow and you're like, oh.
Falls to his no way in hell that you survived fall.
Now,
yeah.
Since you guys are just going to go ahead and jump ahead, let's go ahead and get into the country that's someplace in the world called Parmistan.
They said that it's in the Himalayas.
Okay. All right. So it's by Pakistan, possibly.
Tibet. It's probably in the Tibet region.
Yeah.
That would explain the hats.
Okay. All right.
I don't think it does.
Right.
They had a llama hat. The king had a llama hat.
They had a hat from fucking every hat store in the country.
Now, Parmistan is a very elusive country, kind of like Wakanda or Latveria from the Marvel comics. It's hard to get into.
Sure.
And they're very isolationist, per se.
Yeah.
And they've got
Underland.
something that the U.S. government wants. All I can tell is that it's a satellite, something to do with satellites. And I know the end result is Star Wars, but what's in Parmistan that the U.S. needs? It
would make a perfect site for a nuclear detection satellite substation, is how it's put in the movie.
Yeah.
So they build a building that talks to satellites that float in an orbit around the planet, and then the satellite says, hey guys, there's a nuke coming.
Yes. I think that it actually might have, by the time the movie was made, they'd figured out that you could use satellites to beam signals from satellite to satellite.
Pretty much anywhere, yeah.
Yeah, but before the network of satellites, that's how they You put one in geosynchronous orbit, and it just sat there, and it talked to what was underneath it.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. Well, this is 1985.
Yeah, well, they did better than that in 1985.
Quite past that.
Yeah, we had satellites.
Okay, so we need to get into Parmistan and build a building, essentially. And the only way to get into Parmistan is by playing the game. And the game is a deadly gauntlet of vague rules and physical skill and fighting ability and running fast.
And then a 5 mile at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know that it's incredible skill. I mean, you have to be able to run, climb a rope, and then climb another rope.
Well, getting shot at by ninjas and fighting various ninjas, and it's a death game, so your opponents can also try to kill you. It's like a death foot race 2000.
Yeah, sort of. It's an obstacle course too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a Ninja Warrior of Death.
So the U.S. government has to send John Cabot into Parmistan to compete in the game so that profit.
So that they can be the first people to get that satellite, because other countries, they keep saying it.
See, that's
Don't cut me off. Other countries are out there, Justin. They are trying to get the satellite in there too, and they are training their best athletes.
But that's my problem is instead of a bullshit trophy or a ribbon with a gold medal on the end of it that you win for the game, you get a satellite substation?
No, you don't. You get one request to the Khan of Parmistan. That's what they're going to ask him for.
And what if he's like, fuck off?
Then it was a bad choice. That's why you send in. That's why you send in John Cabot.
Expendable.
Yes, exactly.
He's our diplomat in case they just tell us to fuck off completely. Well, it's just John Cabot.
What you find out after you win the game is that the only request you can really ask for is a basket of pomegranates.
Like a 12-pack of Orange Crush.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Well, I guess that's better than a bullshit medal, but dude, we really needed that satellite, I think. I don't know. I'm just a gymnast.
So I'll burn a question right now. No outsider has won the game in 900 years.
In 900 years.
What do you think they asked for?
900 years ago?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going with a new hat.
Probably less plague.
Less plague.
Can we have less plague?
I don't think the Khan of Parmistan can do that.
I'll see what I can do. I don't know.
Maybe
I'll give it a go.
Maybe they're asking for like bread or food daily for the rest of their lives. It seems like a pretty poor place.
So it would still be, even though it's 900 years, it would still be some sort of diplomatic request.
I've got it. It was Ireland. They asked for the Pied Piper. Let all the rats right out of that fucking place.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. Hey, it's Parmistan. If the Pied Piper came from any fucking country on earth, it's Parmistan. A guy dressed up as Robin Hood with a fucking pan flute that can lead rats off of a fucking island. Parmistan.
I could see that being a Parmistani talent.
Yeah. Yeah. So my problem with your question, Sam, is if no one has won the game in 900 years and the game is the only way to gain entry into Parmistan.
And you already have a satellite substation in Turkey that's not that far away.
Okay, good. But this means that no human from the outside world has stepped into Parmistan in 900 years. And stepped out or live, period.
Well, I don't know about that because the king's wife was half Thai.
That is correct. No, she is from
Indonesia.
Okay. Which means that at some point, either she left the country or had to come into the country, or the princess was born out of the country and had to come in. Which means that either of them compete in the game.
I can tell you what happens with... Because her mom is absent.
Yeah, does not appear in the
She gets knocked up, has the baby, off with her head.
Okay.
Well, maybe they're allowed to marry to, kind of spice up the population. Yeah, I don't know. There were a lot of uglies in that town.
How did they get in there? If This is the law of the land, Jackie. There's no exceptions.
Well, maybe they go on vacation and they come back with somebody.
I don't recall them saying that you can only enter the country if you're going to be in the game.
They say the only way to enter the country is through the game.
Oh.
I 100% promise you, because I was like, wait, what? No, 900 years and the only way to get in is through the game? Then how the fuck does any fucking fuck? It doesn't make any goddamn sense.
They must have an active slave trade in Parmistan.
Everybody by this point would be so fucking inbred in Parmistan, and there you go.
They seem that way.
Yes, they do.
Actually, they don't. They seem like a lunchroom full of union workers.
Incest and inbreeding is too much of a compliment for the citizens of Parmistan.
Not fast on the uptake.
None of them have teeth. None of them seem to have faces that fit on their skulls.
No.
Their clothes have all been stitched on backwards. Some of their faces are on backwards.
They have a whole town dedicated, and yeah, we're a country, and this is the good town.
Mm-hmm.
And then over there on the obstacle course, we've done away with our crazies. I'm like, you have to be some kind of fucking crazy for the crazies to send you off to another town.
Yes.
Well, we saw them, and they're crazy.
They're quite crazy. Things are different in Bananasville. That's what I'm just going to call the Village of the Crazies.
Village of the Damned, Town of the Damned.
Yeah.
Town of the Crazies, Village of the Crazies.
Every podcast that I've listened to that talks about this movie has their own version, their own name for this town. Mine's going to be Bananaville.
Dayton, Ohio. Jim Van Beber is the mayor of the Town of Crazies.
That's a joke only 4 people got.
Yay!
So let's fully dive into the events of this movie thing, whatever it is that we've decided to discuss.
What events? Yeah.
Okay, so the movie starts out with, as Jackie spoke about, some intersplicing of the game and gymnastics. And to be spoiled, John Cabot Sr., I'm guessing, is running the game. And he gets to the third obstacle, I believe.
He only makes it to the crossing the gap rope.
The rope bridge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And gets arrowed by a guy, by Ken Norton.
Richard Norton.
Ken
Norton was a boxer.
Oh, okay.
Ken Norton, too, was a football player.
All right. Mm-hmm. Richard Norton. What's his character's name?
Zamir.
And what do you suppose his story is?
Well,
is he from Parmistan? He has to be.
I don't think he is, because he looked like a regular human being. I think he snuck in.
How do you sneak in?
He's like, I've been living on the outskirts of town the whole time.
You can't sneak in town. It's a country. You can't sneak in. We see that you cannot sneak in later in the film. He either has to be from there, or he won the game, and we know that
and
can't
he's
be true.
900 years old.
And he's 900 years old.
He could have won it in 10 years ago.
No one has won the game for 900 years. You can't get into the country, and in order to get into the country, you have to win the game, but nobody's won it for 900 years. Those are the 3 rules we've established, Jackie. Pay attention.
Well, I know one thing about Zamir. Mm-hmm. He is a Padawan learner.
Yes.
Because he has a long braid in his hair.
There are always 2, Sam. The apprentice and the master.
Yeah, so who's the master? Because it can't be the Khan of Parmistan. He's the master of nothing. This guy is a fucking bozo.
Probably Two-Face?
Yeah.
So he's dead. That we're supposed to think.
He's dead. There's no way to survive the fall.
Cabot, dad.
Yeah.
John Cabot Jr. wins his gymnastics competition, which by definition of this film should probably be
I don't even know if that happens. I think that he wins the competition, like you just said.
Competition. The U.S. Olympics. The U.S. Olympics competition is what he wins.
The Pan Am Games.
Yeah, the Pan Am Olympics competition is the thing that he wins. And so the CIA have this guy, I guess it's the CIA, have this guy that comes in and meets him at his house? Is this Cabot's house where he's
Or
like,
is it the CIA guy's house?
whose house?
I don't know. It's not that nice of a house. I'm going to go with Cabot's.
I think it's just a house that they're all at.
Maybe it's a safe house.
Yeah, it's a safe house.
They're
Well,
like, we got to
yeah,
guard this guy and, be all secretive about his martial arts, gymnastics training. So that way, nobody else can have the upper edge.
I don't think that they're trying to guard this guy at all. Why would they guard him?
They're training him
Yeah, he's got to be trained
in super
sort of.
secret,
Yeah.
so it has to be a safe house.
All right, it's a safe house.
And when you're the CIA guy or whatever clandestine organization you're working for, you're like, Coco, it's in the woods. We need Coco in the safe house. And you get there and there isn't any, and you freak the fuck out.
God damn it! There's only Yoo-hoo! Mm-hmm. I hate Yoo-hoo!
Yoo-hoo and coffee, and you got to mix them together, and it just pisses you off.
And cinnamon whiskey.
Yeah.
I've never had Yoo-hoo. Is
Well,
it really that gross?
It's
No,
just
it's
kind of
fine.
chalky, I think.
I think it's fine, but it's if you want hot cocoa and all you got's Yoo-hoo, you're going to be pissed.
Yeah. Right. So the CIA guy, whose name I don't know and I don't care, he explains to him about Parmistan and the rules and that they need this satellite substation, blah, 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 everything that we've discussed.
Go
ahead.
I'm going to burn another question here. Don't you think they should have got somebody that wasn't quite so goddamn tall for the CIA guy?
Oh, so that they could line him up next to Kurt Thomas, who is not tall?
So that he doesn't... Kurt Thomas is staring at his belt line.
Yes.
It's ridiculous.
I'm sorry, we have leprechauns on the CIA staff? Who brought in this Oompa Loompa?
Where is he? Oh, there you are. Hello.
Oh, I'm just a little guy.
Has anybody seen Cabot? Oh, Jesus Christ, there you are.
Quit sneaking up on me, Cabot.
Why do we have hobbits in the CIA? Someone answer this. Well, John Cabot is a little like, well, are you sure that I'm ready? I guess I'll do this training. Well, we've also got a secret weapon. The Princess of Parmistan just so happens to be standing right over there.
Yeah.
She is not attractive.
Well, whatever.
She was attractive enough to be in Playboy, so.
And she was probably the best looking person in Parmistan.
And this movie.
I will give her that.
Yeah. Like she is clearly a 10 to the citizens of Parmistan.
Well, in Parmistan, she's a 15.
Yeah, right. She broke the scale. That's why there's a village full of crazies, is they're just so sick of looking at ugly that one day they see her and they're like, they get the steam coming out of their ears and it boils their brain. Now they're all fucking bonkers. And she is tough, I guess, because she assaults him gently.
She punches him right in the balls.
Yeah.
With his own hands.
And then ties him up, but he doesn't appear to be in any pain.
Hog ties him and slams him into a pillar and then wanders off.
He's like, hey.
That was funny.
Huh.
These Parmistani girls are crazy.
So is he just a bad actor, or is he really tough, or is she not very tough?
Maybe he's hit the bar so many times that you could hit his balls with a hammer and he wouldn't feel it anymore.
The pommel horse, that little slidey cut thing that they do with their legs, just whap, whap, whap.
Maybe he doesn't have much of a package, gentlemen.
Yeah, do gymnasts wear nut cups? I would assume so.
I thought they just wore the really tight underwear that smashes it all up.
Well, that's not going to keep it from getting further smashed.
A cup would hinder you, I think.
I would think so, too. So
In
they
fact,
just have smashed balls?
I will go out as far to say that no one wears a cup.
Not really.
No one wears a cup, and
Catchers.
catchers wear a cup.
Yeah.
They usually pop it when they have to hit.
Right.
Because cups hinder running badly.
Mm-hmm.
And I think all of the movements that you do in gymnastics, the cup would just be like, God damn it.
I bet you NASCAR drivers wear a cup,
I don't think they do.
just in case of like some shrapnel from the explosion.
Oh my God, I would totally wear a cup now that you said
It's not
that.
going to slow you down. You're just sitting there. Protect the junk. You got one of those Dale Earnhardt devices on your head and then like a mini one on your Johnson.
So it was like 115 in a stock car, so the cup would actually be a cup full of human water. You'd just be ball sweat.
Oh, that's how you get the long penis, is you wear a cup that keeps your balls in, but it's got a special hole for your ding dong that you slide through, and then when you have to slam on your brakes real hard, the momentum pulls on your wiener and makes it long, and then you've got a big dick.
Why aren't you rich?
Wow.
How is that not on the market?
That was the Swedish penis pump's initial business plan model, but too many deaths.
They decided to add a pump.
It was just easier.
Instead of a stock car.
Yeah. So he gets trained. And
he does.
He
By a bunch of nutsacks. Hey, blindfold me while I have these Cornhusker looking things, and I'm going to twirl them around my head. Only one at a time, though.
No, you're not setting that up properly.
No.
We need to introduce these guys. He's got a giant black guy that just wears sweatpants.
And a tank top.
And also a sweat shirt that matches his sweatpants sometimes. And then he's got
Laser Ninja from American Ninja.
Laser Ninja from American Ninja 1, and who happens to own a fucking Falcon that I guess is like his assistant in training?
The Falcon, I think, he's only in the one shot.
He's only in the one shot, and this is...
I don't think it's a Falcon. I think that's a golden eagle. That's a big bird.
That's a big-ass fucking bird. He's just holding it on with his hand. It's fucking bonkers. And the whole training is Kurt Thomas chopping wood and hearing the axe through the air. At no point is the bird fucking referenced. Like, you must hear the axe through the air like the eagle hears its prey on the ground. It's just a fucking bird suit. Whose bird is that?
Okay, I can hear the axe. What's the story with that bird?
What bird?
Oh.
And then, as Jackie mentioned, American Ninja Trainer at some point is like, here, I'm going to blindfold you, but first you should blindfold me and then watch me do this. And he just yaws with these two hay cutting things.
It's a 1.5. One hand is like rapidly spinning and twisting and doing all of these moves. The other hand is just holding another one of the same thing. It's ridiculous.
In a normal film, you would see this training montage, and Kurt Thomas would be trying to do the yaw thing, and then the Asian mentor would eventually say, but now let's do this blindfolded. And then he would have to do it blindfolded. But Kurt Thomas never picks these things up. It's just a fucking shot of the ninja trainer showing off on his own skills that aren't good.
And I would actually compare the skills that he's using to, you would see the same sort of thing if you had a younger brother that was like in grade school and got some foam nunchucks.
It's a Star Wars kid.
Yeah, it's in the backyard blindfolding himself and just in the backyard.
And then he looks at the camera and smiles and his teeth go ding.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Like, wow, that was completely not awesome. Where's your bird?
Meanwhile, the CIA guy is standing out at the cabin window looking out and being like, we got a fucking hobbit and then this ninja guy who is not it. What the fuck? This is a shit job. The CIA has demoted me, and now I've just got some shit job. This isn't even an important thing. They're just trying to get rid of me.
And they fucking aced me on the cocoa. The fucking cocksuckers have got me out here in the middle of fucking Montana without any cocoa, and I'm watching three guys jack off in the yard.
Felix is in London driving fast cars and banging chicks with James Bond, and I'm stuck in a cabin with no cocoa.
Yeah.
And hobbits.
Well, we know that time has gone by, though, because the princess changes clothes 3 times.
She does. And she looks out the window.
Yeah, we know that it's been at least 3 days worth of training for this Gymkata crap.
Or she's one of those people that gets dressed a lot during the day.
He has to chase a horse at some point. Like, that's one of his training things.
Running. This is the only significant training that's happening during the training sequence. The only thing that he does to prepare him for what's going to happen is running. And the larger black guy is training him. He doesn't want to run himself, so he's riding a horse.
Which his running is about 30 feet.
That we see. We don't know how long he's been running.
Hey, man. That's not well established there. You need like several clips of him running and then running harder and being like, yeah. And then eventually runs up the stairs of the Philadelphia courthouse and goes, woo!
Runs to the top of the hill that their house is on the side of.
Yeah. He also has to walk upside down on his hands up the stairs.
never gets useful.
Never.
It's a wasted skill.
This is bad training.
It is bad trading. And where the fuck did the bird go?
What bird?
Oh.
So Cabot is now going to seduce the princess, who up to this point in time who has had 0 lines in the film. They have had no interaction except for that one time she punched him in the bag and he didn't feel it.
Yeah, that's about it.
Yeah.
So he comes downstairs and he's like, "So, princess, how are you doing today?" And she doesn't say anything because she's like, "Fuck you, John Cabot. You're a douchebag. You're a fucking hobbit." And so he does a backflip and voices her reply for her. And then does a backflip and then voices his reply and does a backflip and voices her reply.
It's pretty dumb.
And she likes it.
Oh,
that
she
would
does.
get me to talk to him.
Oh, yeah.
I'd be like, well, I mean, you're putting in some effort. Let's.
You can do flips. That's cool.
Yeah.
So, princess, how was your night? Flip. Oh, pretty good, John Cabot. Will you put it in my butt? Flip. Yes. And that's it. That's it.
Well, if the conversation went like that, I'd be like,
That's pretty much how the conversation goes. This guy is not a charmer. He says nothing nice about her. He just mocks her.
And this is really the end of his training,
Mm-hmm.
where they've gotten to talk to her 0. Why is she even there? Is it her bird?
Why is she there? Let's break this down right now. Burn this question throughout the rest of the film. Let's not get off topic and talk about any events. But does the princess contribute to John Cabot's mission in any form?
no.
No.
She doesn't help him get into the country.
No.
She doesn't help him win the game.
No.
She doesn't help with his fucking training. She
doesn't help
she
with his
tries to
training.
stab him once, which, I guess that's training help.
She helps with his boner.
Yeah.
She doesn't even drive a car because they don't drive a car.
He drives a car.
He does?
Yeah,
Yeah.
in the town outside of Parmistan.
They take mules to get into Parmistan, so she doesn't help with that.
She's disappeared.
She doesn't. She is maybe the most proppy of props we've ever seen.
Yes. She is female sex thing.
Right. Who is the princess. So
Mhm.
that means that she's noble. Like she's not just a slut because she's royal. So she's a royal slut.
Well, everybody likes those.
Yeah. All right. So they head to, I guess he's ready to go. So they head to this Cabal town on the Caspian Sea.
It's a postcard.
Yes, it's a postcard. Got to a postcard.
And it's not even, they didn't even get, the 2 times that they do travel shots in this movie, they don't even get a good picture. It's got schmutz on it.
Yeah.
Both times.
Right. Boof. And so they meet their contact, who is basically Q living in a salt mine.
Something.
He's got gadgets. He's got a knife gun, some tasers, things that are stupid, and it's in a salt mine.
And he's got a really dumb mustache.
Yes.
I would thought it's more like a salt factory.
Yeah.
Because salt doesn't just hang out like that.
It's not
Yeah.
refined in the mine.
Right, that's true.
This
It's a
is
salt pile.
It's a salt pile.
Underground salt pile of Cabal, Caspian Sea town.
We double as an underground salt pile. Oh, that's a good cover? No, it's terrible.
People come in here all the time going, why do you just have a pile of salt?
Are they trying to mine that already refined salt that's just in a pile?
We just have 2 guys over here that just kind of mill shovels around because they can't dig out the salt because then that would create 2 piles. They just kind of have to stir
Yeah.
like they're doing, I don't know what. You know what? Fuck it. Let's get out of here. So that night they take in a little bit of the culture of the town.
With some bodyguards.
Yeah. Ooh. There's some lovely things over here.
Did you mention the, because wardrobe alert.
Oh, okay.
Cabot sweater.
Cabot, yeah, has a red sweater on. It has some kind of logo in the very bottom waist area. And then it has awkward It reminded me of like an airline stewardess's neckerchief.
I
On
bet
the
you I
arms.
know exactly what this sweater is.
I liked it.
I bet you this was the not used Team 1980 USA Gymnastics team sweaters.
Really? Because that would be a crap sweater for the.
I
It doesn't
liked
say
it.
USA on it anywhere.
No, but it's got red, white, and blue, and it looks like that style of 1980s USA Go team type
Yeah.
stuff.
See, I think it's the costume designer trying to make it look like that.
Okay, all right.
I would have bought you
But-
one.
But they didn't have the rights to USA, so that she couldn't stitch that in. You
No.
know, copyright infringement on the fucking country.
Yep.
Why wouldn't she just stitch USA in there, Sam? That's retarded.
Was this production made in the USA?
They still couldn't do that because fear of getting shot for copyright infringement for
They
something you
ran out
can't-
of thread.
No, shut up. It's the USA gymnast stupid business. I'm standing by it.
What about
Anyway.
his taper leg jeans?
Those are not standard issue.
Yeah. Sir, those are your mom's pants.
So they get some grief from some locals, like, "Hey, you from America? Yeah, of course, man. USA rules #1. Pie in the face." What the fuck, dude?
He's a dick.
Yeah,
Always say you're from Canada when traveling abroad.
yeah, no shit. So he's like, "That's bullshit, man. Why is everybody hassling us?" And his bodyguard's like, "Oh, you got to be careful." Oh, arrowed in the tummy.
You never even see anybody with a bow and arrow.
No, there's just you don't see anything. You just see him being like, "Well, Kurt Thomas, it's funny you should." Ow! Oh, God.
At which point, Kurt Thomas just takes off, leaves Princess Ball Punch behind,
Right.
and she gets nabbed. I don't even know if she gets nabbed or if she just goes home.
No, she gets nabbed,
They
but
say that guy says that, but that guy's a liar.
that's true.
She might have just gone home. She's like, I
No,
can
she
go
gets
there.
nabbed. She gets nabbed.
Fine.
He
Zamir nabs her.
takes off running after unknown assailant and finds an alley filled with like 4 or 5 guys, and this is the first time we get Gymkata. So, Gymkata. Let's just take care of Gymkata right now throughout the rest of the movie. Is Gymkata cool?
No.
One of the requirements for Gymkata to work properly is that people have to run headfirst into your feet.
Correct. And give you time to do handsprings. You also have to have convenient gym equipment
Yes.
laying around your town,
There has to be an apparatus nearby for it to work.
right?
And you're basically just doing gymnastics, and in the process of you doing that, someone will run into either your fist or your foot.
Yeah, there's no real skill level to this. You just keep your body moving and eventually you'll get everybody.
Now, put your mind into the mind of an 8-year-old boy for a minute, and imagine that 8-year-old boy watching Gymkata. Is there any chance that 8-year-old boy would go out into the backyard and play with his friends and be like, "Yeah, hiya! What are you doing? I'm doing Gymkata."
I think it happened.
I think it did too.
Really?
Yeah,
he was
I remember.
he was a superstar.
Yeah, he was. I
Olympic
remember
superstar.
in like even his blowout was so big that people like boys were still trying to do gymnastics on the playground until like 7 or 8 years old.
See, I think if you're the kid that's out in your backyard with your neighbors and it's like, let's go fight the bad guys, imagination time, and you pull out Gymkata, those kids are going to kick your ass. You are done for
Yeah.
as a child. You have now chosen to play Harry Potter in the future over Lord of the Rings, Imagination Town, and you are playing. You're a bigger fan of the GoBots than you are the
I would
Transformers.
say that
Kid, you suck.
you're the boy playing Moonlight. Twilight Saga, Moonlight.
Moonlight, the Oscar-nominated film.
Yes.
Boys love playing
Oh, yeah.
that.
Ah, yes. Let's make deep statements about race on the playground.
Whee!
To Twilight, yes. You're playing Twilight Saga and everybody else is playing Lord of the Rings. However, that one move where you grab your girlfriend and swing her around like she's a weapon, that works pretty good.
I think you're going to get your ass kicked. I don't think you're going to be the cool kid at any point in time if you pull out Gymkata.
I disagree.
you liked Beastmaster and you weren't the cool kid. So you're saying like, yes, I would have done it, but you would have gotten beat up, Jackie.
I also thought that musicals were kind of cool. And so I one day tried to do a musical of my own by just only singing my words. It turned out terribly.
Did you get beat up?
I got pushed on the ground, yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
See, you pull Gymkata, you're going to get your buns kicked. Gymkata sucks. It is awful. All the other kids have fucking ninja swords, and they're just standing there going, yeah, 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 yeah. And one kid's pulled out a lightsaber. They're like, no, Kenny, we're playing ninjas.
Yeah.
It's like, this is all I got. And then you start doing cartwheels and somersaults and like trying to kick them. They're just going to go straight for your balls.
Exactly. No, as much as I tried to be like, yeah, those kids were always on the bars doing cool things, I wasn't. I watched Chuck Norris, and if they would have walked over to me, I would have kicked their ass.
Square in the balls.
Right? Like, go back over to those bars, son. About to drive a Dodge out of the ground to drink some beer and whip everyone's ass on this playground.
So he kicks their ass. He comes back to the center of town. His other dude has been axed in the chest because I guess villagers just have axes and are all murderers.
I'm going to contend that we never saw this bodyguard before we saw him dead.
Yeah, no shit.
I'm going to disagree with that.
Okay.
He followed them out there. He was there when the other guy got shot. Now, the axe, though, that's in this scene is the same axe that the stork, the guy who meets them on the pier, that
The
showed
stork.
them. You know,
Yeah.
when he cut off that piece of rhubarb or whatever, or barb, there's the same axe. So
okay.
that was an indicator.
Nice job, Gymkata. I didn't even pick up on that.
Neither does Kurt Thomas.
Yeah. The princess has been nabbed as well. She's not there. He doesn't know that she's nabbed, but he goes back to talk to this Q. His name is Stork.
Yeah, the stork.
Yeah, the stork.
And he's like, the shit happened in town. He's like, well, here's the deal. The princess has been kidnapped, and she's been taken to this place, and I know everything, even although all this happened just several minutes ago.
Which we got to break down because she's been kidnapped by Zamir, who's her fiance, and he's kidnapped her back to her house. It's not really kidnapping.
It's not her house, Sam. This is not in Parmistan.
No, she goes back to Parmistan before. That's when she's on her way back to Parmistan.
Nope. You have skipped an entire fucking scene of this movie.
Oh.
Yeah, did you fall asleep over there?
Yo,
No.
that's right. Someone fell asleep at the beginning of Gymkata.
No, I didn't.
Yes,
I almost did.
You did. I heard snoring, and you were doing your little note-taking trick. You grab your pen and pretend you're writing a note, but it's only at the bottom of the page, and then you stop writing after you realize you have nothing to write because you were fucking asleep.
No, so he's talking to the stork.
Who explains everything about the princess.
That she's been kidnapped, but we never see her again until...
Yes, we do, because you fucking fell asleep. The next day, he gets chased, and as he's entering the house in town where they're keeping her, and Zamir is not there.
Oh, yeah, no,
some other fucking guy is.
No, I remember that part now.
And he gets chased down an alleyway, and there just happens to fucking be a crossbar conveniently across the alleyway that he can jump onto and do swinging kicks on guys.
No, he just swings around until everyone runs into his feet.
Yes.
Including some guy who's just riding a bike.
He's just going home after a hard day of selling or begging for bread. I don't know. Take a pick.
His cobra fell out of his basket. It was a whole scene.
Yep.
In Kurt Thomas's defense, he apologizes to that man.
It's hilarious right there. So he gets into the house and he fights a bunch of the guys, and
For a house that's supposed to be well guarded, this place has like 5 dudes.
yeah.
It's not well guarded. It's like, oh.
He shoots the leader, which is some guy, because I guess now the world's best gymnast is also a guy who is ready to shoot people in the fucking chest.
Yep.
All right, so they escaped and they're chased in the streets. And I have a note here. Much chasing. This sequence goes on too long. This is my least favorite part of this entire movie. If you were to fall asleep, it's while they're getting chased through the streets.
I think I fell asleep while they were getting chased through the streets.
So much chasing. So, yeah, I just tuned out for a bit. I just started looking at the walls and stuff.
And doesn't the chase end with a car being flipped over? It
Yeah.
doesn't even explode. It just flips
No,
over.
that's right. I didn't fall asleep during the chase because there's the police officer and there's the dirty cops, and he does his twirl about move, and gets shot by the dirty cops that he thinks are his guys.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah. That's pretty stupid. So they make it back to base, and the Stork's there, but it turns out he's a double agent. He's working for,
I have no idea. I'm going to go with Russia.
Okay, let's go with Russia. What's his end game?
He must stop them from competing.
Stop who?
Gymkata guy.
Then just fucking shoot him.
Just shoot him.
Oh, hey, you're off the boat. Come into my salt mine. There's 2 guys in there with shovels. Well, they're fucking having a conversation. You just brain them in the back of the head with shovels. Problem solved. Bury him in the salt. Go back to Russia.
Don't even. Just shoot him before he gets off the boat.
Yes. Nope, not Russia.
Tie a rock to his leg, throw him over. The SEALs will take care of him.
Sam? Who's the Stork working for? It's not Russia.
I don't know.
Czechoslovakia.
Why would they care?
You're just throwing out country names.
That don't
It's
exist
not another
anymore.
country. It's either got to be Zamir or Parmistan.
He's working for Zamir.
And he's working for Zamir. Okay, so if he's working for Zamir, why does he facilitate the kidnapping of the princess?
Does he facilitate the kidnapping?
Yes.
I don't
He
know.
is dirty. Otherwise, how would he know anything about what happened to the princess and where to go to find her?
Maybe Zamir's was gonna stage a heroic rescue, so she likes him better.
Mm.
So this is more like the dating game than it is the terrible game.
And then you pay the guys like $30 each to after you punch him in the balls and make out with the girl, and she's like, "Wow, you are dreamy."
You're a hero.
But somebody accidentally falls off of the balcony and breaks their neck, and then you're like, "Oh Jesus!
This went poorly.
Run!"
Meanwhile, those were the guys. They thought that Kurt Thomas is Zamir. He's like, he's gonna take it easy on us. They get their fucking kneecaps broke. One of them gets fucking shot.
Yep.
They're like, we didn't. You gave me $30.
Not a good deal.
That sucks.
You know what? Where I live, though, that's an entire year's worth of wages. So pretty good deal.
Bob was a good man.
Oh my God.
Sacrificed himself for his family and
you
left
want-
to them $30.
We should split up Bob's $30. See what else he has.
and then we
on
should
him.
eat Bob because we're all fucking starving.
Yeah.
That's good, Bob. Which part did you get? The butt.
The butt. Yeah, that was just. That's right where that was headed.
Bob rump.
Rump de Bob. With some fava beans and nice Chianti.
It can use some salt. I know where you can get some. All right, so the CIA comes in and shoots the fake Q guy, blows everyone else away.
Does he bust through the wall?
Yes.
It's so stupid. They're like, I'm the Stork. I'm a double agent. Oh, no. And then he's just like, wha-bam!
He busts through the wall of a fucking cave.
And then shoots him with a Thompson contender.
Right.
Fuck.
That cleans everything up.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't. You've actually made a mess.
Yeah.
It's not cleaning.
Where were you?
Yeah, it's just hanging out on the wall. Duh. You leave in the morning. So they pack away their mule some distance, and then they get in a raft and float down a river. It's just Cabot and Kamala, Princess Kamala, I think her name is, floating down the river. And they're already pursued by ninjas on horseback, which means to tell me that they just have a roving border patrol around the entire fucking country of ninjas.
Well, how else do they keep people out if only for the game?
That they don't. They keep people out, Sam.
That's what I'm saying. How else would they do it? They'd have to have a wall of ninjas.
Horseback ninja border patrol.
Which they should talk to a certain president about, like maybe a more effective wall.
We will talk about that at the end of this podcast.
Okay.
We have much commentary, political commentary on Gymkata. So they land the raft, and sure as shit, there's ninjas there, and so he Gymkatas them and does some flips and kicks and stupid shit that wouldn't work, and just punch him in the balls. But he gets bonked in the back of the head.
Yeah.
So he's knocked out. And he wakes up in the swank palace thingy dingy, and there's some toothless lady there just stroking him weirdly.
She seems undead.
She seems like she escaped from Crazy Town, Banana Town. Like,
Or she just lives there and commutes for work.
Yeah, maybe both of these scenarios. Maybe she's Ken Norton's maid. Like
Ken Norton.
God damn it, Richard Norton's maid.
Samir.
And like they're cheap labor over in Bananaville.
I would think that they would be. You could pay them in anything.
Bananas?
Why? Those are too expensive.
Yeah, let's not get all flashy here.
Just give them a sack full of rocks when they show up, and then take it away.
Ooh.
When they leave, and they show up, and here's your sack of rocks. Oh yes. And then you take the sack of rocks away, and they get sad, go home, then come back. You don't even pay them anything.
That is a genius plan. So he meets the king. I guess, hey, now that you're here, you have a license to just go around town. I've kidnapped you and taken you to my palace, but now that you've met my toothless maid, go and see the town. Talk to whoever you want. Yeah, you're not actually kidnapped.
You're a competitor.
Yeah, you're here. Enjoy yourself. And the king tells him the rules of not Gymkata, but the game and the geography. And first you have to run through a cornfield.
They don't leave out the spectacular model that they have underneath the sheet.
Boy.
That looks like somebody's 8-year-old put this baby together. They paper mache'd it and glued on some trees.
It actually looks like it was made by the people of Parmistan.
It's made out of popsicle sticks and hardened marshmallows.
Yeah.
It's awful. So they have to go through a cornfield. Then they have to do a rope climb. Then they have to run around a little bit. And then they have to do a rope bridge. And then the Village of the Crazies, Bananaville. And then a 5-mile run again. And then you win.
Yeah.
Is at the end, if there's multiple competitors that make it through do they have like a red tape that you run through like the Boston Marathon type thing?
I think so, yeah. But only the first place gets to request.
Yeah.
You just get to live if you are in second or third.
Mm.
If there is a second or third.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but who's going to be like, yeah, I won entrance into this shit country with all these uglies.
Well, you were trying to win, but you didn't die, so that would be good.
So that we could request a missile base. We could have one request, and the king could be like, no, you can't have that. That's fucking retarded.
Where are you going to put it?
Seriously. This is, no. You entered the game solely for this request? That was a really bad, you could die from this game.
Yeah.
Of course I'm going to say fucking no.
And here's a gift basket with some goat cheese and pomegranates.
Also.
Oh, we're upgrading it now.
Yeah.
You get some goat cheese.
The game, home edition. You know, because like at the Jeopardy and the Wheel of Fortune, you always get the home edition.
Sure.
So you take home the game home
It's
edition.
just a rope and a bow and arrow.
Or it's just like you lift the lid off of it and it explodes and you die.
Like, you open it up and someone's in there with the bow and arrow and they shoot you.
God, ninja. So some criminals are forced to play a demo version of the game. They're going to let the competitors see what it's all about first. And so...
They make it as far as Cabot 1 does.
Yeah.
Well,
So
not
he sucked.
exactly,
He
because
sucked.
the first one dies right out of the cornfield.
Well, that's not even true, because the first person who dies isn't even playing the game. He's a fucking spectator.
Some guy just doesn't, like, he's standing there as the camera rolling, as the shot happening. Richard Norton runs his ass over with a horse.
He gets trampled from standing there. Like, he's in the fucking road.
Yeah.
You are not on... Have you heard the word blocking ever, Mr.
Yeah.
Extra? You don't belong right there.
No. Is this where I'm standing? Wow.
Whap! And then one of the other horseman guys just stare at him. And he's laying on the ground going, ow, ow, is anybody going to help me? Nobody helps him. They all just stare at him like, you moron, are you kidding me? You just got ran over. Why were you standing there? And Richard Norton takes off. He's like, fuck this shit. Yeah.
They only got so much film. They can't do that shot 3 or 4 times.
Oh, get off the track, you stupid extra.
It's always important to have a stunt coordinator who cares.
And we kind of learn the rules of the game a little bit, which I guess is they've got ninja referees
That point you where to go, and if you try to go out of bounds, they'll kill you.
Correct. And there's also ninjas chasing the competitors.
Yes.
Alongside Richard Norton and some other horsemen that are just where it looked like they came out of Devo. And if you make it to the a new challenge, the chasers from the old challenge can't do anything to you. You have to be killed by the next challenge ninjas.
Apparently, once you start climbing, and it's only in the one section, because anybody in the rope bridge can be shot by arrows. That happens continuously.
Yeah, it's true.
So only during the climbing section, the rope climbing section, can you not attack from below.
So you just let them climb up there, and then the guy at the top just pulls out a sword and lops their head off, and then they fall back down.
I guess.
That's a stupid rule.
It is a dumb rule.
The shooting a guy with an arrow you would require skill, whereas just waiting for them to get to the top and then lopping their heads off, that's not a lot of skill.
No.
That you're a dumb ninja then.
That's exactly when you're a dumb ninja.
You know what? Fuck this movie. God, what a huge plot hole.
So disappointing.
Is it the ninja's fault that that's the rules?
I don't know.
Like, who made this?
It is, because another ninja fucking kills that ninja for shooting the guy.
Yeah.
Hey, he broke the fucking rules. The ultimate penalty is death. Fucking ninja. I also love this sequence because this is when we get introduced to the bad dummy fall in this movie. Getting shot off the rope bridge and then falling to the rocks. And I like that there's a ninja down at the bottom of the ravine that the body falls into, and he just watches the bad dummy fall from the sky.
Then puts the flag up like, yep, this one's dead.
Good job!
No one's going to make it. You don't need to sit down there.
Body in the water. Watch out. Body in the water.
Diver down. Wait, no, he's dead. He's definitely not alive.
Did you check his pulse? No. Did you get an arrow?
Yeah, shoot that guy too.
Banquet time back in town with jesters and horseback guys challenging each other with nets. Cymbal kicking.
Cymbal kicking. That's actually very difficult.
There's hundreds of guests in the courtyard.
Of citizens.
And only a table big enough for the competitors.
I feel like this might be the actual entire population of Parmistan.
I would think so. I'm inferred to believe that.
Live in the...
Correct. Totally infer that.
Yeah.
Hooray for the game. Okay. So Cabot asks the king about his dad, and he's told that he's dead. Oh, yeah, he was here. He did okay, but yeah, he's fucking dead. How far did he get? As far as the homeless people? Really?
Was it. Oh. He was a great competitor. No, he wasn't.
No, he pretty much did as good as a homeless man.
Yeah.
Huh. The king announces that the princess is going to get married to Richard Norton, Zamir. Hey, what the fuck, man? We were making out earlier, so what? And we get introduced to Thorg.
Who's late.
Fashionably. He can be. Because he's so
big,
awesome at the game, supposedly. He's got a rep in this town.
So, all right. Where's Thorg from?
You're going to have to assume that he's from here because people already know him.
People already fucking know him. Like, he's upstairs in his bang palace.
He can't be from there because...
No, exactly.
Kurt Thomas stands up and goes, I loved you in Munich.
So, which means that he was an Olympic competitor.
He's an Olympic competitor.
Why can't Parmistan have an Olympic team?
What would Thorg compete in?
Shot put.
Shot put.
Discus.
Sure.
Hobbit chucking.
Hobbit chucking is not an Olympic event. Is the last time I looked.
Well, let's put it on the docket. I don't know what your problem is with Thorg being from Parmistan.
His name's Thorg.
Right.
He looks Norwegian.
Okay.
I don't know if he's supposed to be East German or Russian.
I think he's from Parmistan.
Yeah, I think he's the town badass.
Yeah, they
who
love
has done
him.
this game before. He's won.
Thor.
But then at the beginning, Kurt Thomas has never heard of Parmistan. And if he loves Thorg, then he would have heard of Parmistan.
Maybe it's like Parmistan's in trouble for having such bad diplomatic things. So like, you know, when another country invites an Olympic athlete to work under them, you know, like the Iraqi Olympic team from last year got to compete as unknown country, undisclosed or non-applicable.
Parmistan.
Yeah, dinner gets pretty quiet and a little awkward here now that Thorg's here. So Richard Norton's like, fuck it, I'm gonna go over here and put on a fucking show with my size. S-A-I, not S-I-G-H.
Or S-I-Z-E.
S-I-Z-E. Oh, size. Yes.
Yes.
You can't spell.
That's the
It's
show.
Captain Grammar.
Yep. That's the show that Thorg puts on.
Yeah.
The size show.
The size show. So he has to match his size with his size. And Kurt Thomas matches all of it with his size. Oh.
I'm just saying, though, that Richard Norton is a big man.
Yeah, dude, he's buff.
He's a buff dude.
Yeah, and he had a lot of oil on.
Yeah.
He does.
So I'm kind of surprised that his silk kimono thing that he had on didn't have all kinds of oil spots all over
Or
it.
stayed on because it just slips off.
Yeah. Thump.
She's mine, buddy. Yeah, we'll see.
Why don't you put your size back in your pants?
Why don't you put your pants? Me out of here.
Yeah. Where's the salad? Nobody eats anything at dinner.
Yeah, it's kind of like they don't have food at all.
The pig's not done.
So Cabot breaks into the princess's palace or house or whatever, and he leaves a message for the princess to come meet, and they meet out in the alleyway, and she's like, no, it's an arranged marriage. It's no big deal. I love you, Cabot. You're the best. But there's like a coup going on with Zamir's crew, and so therefore the game is going to be the deadliest ever?
Yeah, he can't wait, I guess, to just get married and take the throne legally, which he's on the way to doing. So he's going to rig the game and kill the king, and he's jumping the gun.
And the king is like going to make some big announcement like, hey, Parmistan's going to be cool now. But Richard Norton's like, no, I don't want it to be cool. So I have to make the game really deadly.
Yep.
Yep.
So that no one gets a request, and we keep the borders closed because we've already got a wall of ninjas and we're paying them.
And I'm still actually just what is that called? You're the
He's the advisor.
No. What's Philip's title? He's not the fucking king. Philip is the duke. When you marry the princess, you don't become the king. You become the duke. So he doesn't even he has no plan. Zamir's plan is stupid. And she's like, don't compete because it's going to be so deadly.
I don't think it's Duke. I think you actually have a title for when you can't assume. If you're married to the queen,
I thought
and
he
you
was
can't,
the duke
He's the consort
the consort,
to
yes.
the queen.
Yeah, but I thought he was also the duke.
He's the
Duke
of something else before.
Oh, maybe. Yeah.
Because he was the prince
That's
of
true.
Greece.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So
yeah, he can just be a consort. Consort Zamir. Great. He's not going to be the king unless he has a fucking coup, which means don't even play the game. Just get your fucking ninja guys to go kill the king and take over the goddamn town. You don't need the princess to have a coup, you idiot.
well, you don't want to shake up the game. You got to have the people behind you.
He likes the game.
He does like the game.
Well, the game starts. 8 men enter. And Zamir's like, fuck this. I'm breaking the rules. I'm chasing after that asshole.
I like that the other countries have sent their heaviest drinking, hard smoking, middle-aged men. There's a
Champions.
Japanese guy that looks like he's in good shape,
Uh-huh.
a Spaniard that's in pretty good shape,
Right.
Kurt Thomas Thorg, and then 4 guys that are just like One of them's a truck driver. The
Uh-huh.
other one's like a union organizer. They survive on scotch and cigars. Now they're going to go for a run.
So what'd you do before the game? Dock worker.
Yeah.
Oh.
Been on disability because of the gout.
Well,
Think you're going to do good? No.
my one request, health insurance. So they run through the cornfield, and it goes pretty smoothly. And everybody makes it to the rope climb, and the fucking ninjas cheat again, but they kill a guy with an arrow, and then they try to burn Cabot as he's climbing up the rope.
This rope's got to have a lot of oil on it, though, because
Yeah.
it goes up pretty fast.
It pretty much goes up in a matter of seconds.
This was never a good plan by every time that Richard Norton, or both times that Richard Norton tries to cheat,
Uh-huh.
they're stupid cheat plans.
Because just shoot him with the arrow.
Just shoot him with the...
This guy is basically Hawkeye over here. He's never missed one time with a fucking arrow.
No.
And Richard Norton walks up and he's like, no. Let's not chance it. I'm gonna light this rope on fire. In reality, he just would have stood there for like, this fucking rope won't catch on fire. And then it would just become about him getting the rope on fire. Kurt Thomas would have been long fucking gone. He'd
Sure.
still be down there being like, why won't you light on fire, rope?
It's hard to get rope to catch on fire.
Yeah.
You can't just... It's so dumb. They're running along. A ninja chucks a spear poorly. Kills a guy.
This was the guy that was on disability for the gout.
Yes. Not a fast runner, that one. Two guys make it across the rope bridge. The third one doesn't. He gets a sword to the face. Bad dummy fall again. It's pretty awesome. I like the second bad dummy fall better than
All
the
of
first
the
one.
bad dummy falls are fun.
They're great. Cabot makes it to the rope, but Zamir's right on his tail. He cuts the rope from the other side, causing Cabot to slam against the rocks, but not really because he's just so agile that he springs up the
He's
rope.
already there.
Yeah, he's pretty much
Richard Norton waits, or Zamir waits so fucking long to cut the rope that he's already over there.
over. Right.
Like, oh no, he's already there. You waited too long, you dumb asshole.
Just do the same thing again.
Light this rope on fire too.
Let the sword guy across the way fucking kill him while he's on the rope. Or cut the rope from the sword guy's side. Now he can't get across.
Yeah.
And then you can do whatever.
Well, the sword guy's a legitimate official. He's not going to cheat. He waits for Kurt Thomas to get on land, then tries to kill him, and then gets kicked off the...
He doesn't wait for the other guy to get on land. He just chops him while he's still on the
He
rope.
was getting overzealous.
Oh, okay. I'm excited.
He's really excited.
So Cabot kills the sword guy. Number 1 and number 2, which is Thorg and the Japanese guy, get in a fight, and Thorg wins. Crushes his head or something. I don't
And
know.
then one of the officials like drops the flag like, oh, that's not the spirit of competition. So some of these ninjas are good sports and others of them are not, I guess.
Well, and to me, it seemed like he was holding out his arm and he's like, fuck, come on. Over here, douchebags. Okay, you know what? They're not going to come. I'm just going to put my arm down.
I have been standing here for 4 fucking
Yeah.
hours. Can you guys just run past me, please?
Just go the right way.
Stop
Yeah.
fighting. Go over there, and then I can go home.
He's like, my arm is tired. I fell on it last night while I was drinking at the celebration, and I just can't hold the flag up that long, okay?
You guys take your macho bullshit someplace else, because
That's right.
I want to go home and have cookies. So it appears that only 2 are left. Thorg and Cabot.
There's
missing
still
one.
Oh, yeah, because we were missing Gomez. at this
Gomez.
place.
We don't see Gomez for a little bit of time. And Cabot and Thorg get in a fight in the woods, and Cabot dodges an arrow, and it hits Thorg, and so Thorg is dead, quote unquote. No, he's not. Cabot finally makes it to Bananaville. And it's pretty quiet. A little too quiet.
Well, I like how the door shuts right behind him, too. Like, there's no turning back.
Past the point of no return, here's a goat.
That's right.
Tied to a well.
Tied to a well
Hmm.
that's also a pommel horse.
Hey.
These people get fed pretty well, though. I mean, they have a whole thing of pigs.
That's true. They've got plenty of sharp instruments, too, because the first guy we see is Abe Vigoda. He's sharpening a sickle. And then there's, like, death traps and suddenly a rolling fog going through town.
Mm-hmm.
He gets in a fight with a guy with, like, these shears. I don't know what he's got. They're, like, curved blades of something, like you cut hay with as well, but not the same hay cutters from the ninja guy.
Is this a sickle?
No, a sickle is what they were sharpening in the first scene.
No, that's a scythe.
Oh.
The Grim Reaper holds a scythe.
Or I thought it was a swath.
Oh, no.
No, there's a lot of farming tools here. Let's just
go with farming
sharp.
tools.
Because I think it's a sickle
S
because
word.
it's a sickle on the Russian flag, on the former Soviet
Right,
flag.
it's a hammer and sickle. You're right.
So that's actually the guy. Are we talking about the guy that's going to really go crazy?
Yeah, that cuts his own hand off.
Yeah, that's a sickle.
Why does?
Because-
Yes, he's bananas, but he grabs onto a pole.
Well, it's hard to cut your own hand off, so you need something solid.
But does he just cut his hand off because he's bananas, or is he like? Is there a bananas logic to why he cuts his hand off?
He couldn't cut Kurt Thomas up, so he's just going to cut his own hand off.
I kind of have a theory. If you go
Sure.
back and rewatch this, he swings at Kurt Thomas. Kurt Thomas dodges, and the guy's weight is all headed towards this fucking pole that he latches onto. And I think in the filmmaker / writer or whoever's idiot mind that this came from, grabs onto the pole and becomes melted to it. And so the only way he can get his hand off this hot pole is to cut his own hand off.
Ha.
I don't know if that's true or if that was the mentality, but if anybody watches that sequence again and goes back, I bet you they'll go, you know what? I kind of see what he's talking about.
Maybe.
Because, I mean, it's not like the hand fell off after he cut it off.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's stuck to the
there.
pole.
It is stuck there.
It's like melted on.
It's stuck on.
Or it's so cold in Bananaville that it's like sticking your tongue to metal.
That's the town glue pole.
Oh, yes.
It's crazy there.
It's crazy glue.
Yeah.
Fucking Jesus.
Gorilla Jim has struck again. Gorilla glue.
I got it. He finds Gomez. He's quite speared.
And he's got a pitchfork in him, too.
Yeah.
There's a dog drinking his blood.
Right. Go me.
Gomez.
No.
Runs into some gropey ladies that he has to punch.
He punches one of them and the other ones don't want it.
They like churn away from him and stare into space. Like they've all gone into our friend got punched in the face trance.
They're in timeout.
They look like nuns to me.
They look like nuns.
I don't know what they look like.
They try to molest him. He punches one in the face and they go, "Bleh."
Well, one of them stabbed him.
They hit him with a trowel or something.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's insane. Some old guy jumps on him, and then a sickle guy stabs another guy in the guts. It's just standing
Just
there.
misses.
Just, hey,
Oh, I was here, Steve.
my tummy.
What are you doing? Watch what you're doing.
I
I'm
was going
dead
to go
now.
put glue on the pole.
Now what are we going to do? Really aced that one up.
Thorg is okay-ish. He also is now there. He's pretty bleedy. Some old lady up on the second floor is making goat sounds at him, and
Yes.
there's a guy with his face on backwards. He's got two faces.
He's got a mask sewn onto the back of
Are
his
you
head.
sure is it a mask or is it a second face?
I don't.
Like a conjoined
So
twin.
let's say it's a second face.
Mm-hmm.
He's hiding. If it was a second face, it wouldn't be very good hiding.
Yeah, I'm assuming because of the face on the back of his head and the way that he had clothing that made it look like it. I think he was trying to pose as like, I don't know, one of those wooden things that you go take pictures at.
He's like a scarecrow
Yeah.
or something. A
Like
scare
he's-
goat.
Ooh.
Yeah, like he's trying to blend in.
Don't notice me over
Yeah.
here.
I'm not a human. I'm a fake human.
Okay. Interesting
Yeah.
theory, guys. I like it.
Because Kurt Thomas walks right by. I'm like, oh, that's obviously a fake human.
Well, Kirk Thomas was a little distracted by the monk who's waving him to come to this building whose ass is out.
Excuse, shaman. Shaman hears my butt.
Shaman, here's my butt. So he's like, what? And then he has to fight Two-Face. and kicks his ass. And then the villagers and Thorg are now chasing him into a pig pen. And Thorg dies in there because he gets all pitchforked because he's too slow or something. I don't know.
He's too big to make it out of the window, so they pitchfork him.
So the villagers chase him conveniently back to the pommel horse.
Yeah.
Or is it another pommel horse well?
Maybe.
I'm going to burn this question right now. This is one of the many questions. I think I have too many to ask anyway. So The first well has a goat tied to it.
Correct.
And he obviously is on the other end of town because right after this he can get out.
True.
So if he was to double back all the way from where he came from, we were then to assume that in the town of crazies, they're like, hey, shit's about to go down. Untie that goat.
I think so. I totally think so because the goat's not there now.
Yeah, I think it's a different pommel horse. I think that the town has two pommel horse wells.
Maybe the well also like serves as like a sacrificial altar and they can cut guys open there. It just so happens that you can also use an altar as a pommel horse in this scenario.
So is it the same or a different well?
I think it's the same. I think Bananaville is so stupid that the exit is right next to the entrance as well.
And they untied the goat.
Right.
They're like, hey, untie that goat.
Just in case a man wants to get on this thing and kick us all in the face.
This was a terribly long, stupid fight scene.
It is so dumb.
Before we get to the fight scene, this well again.
Oh, boy.
It's on the ground level is where the water comes out.
Uh-huh.
You tie a goat to it. The goat's going to go to the bathroom in your well.
Not well thought out, you know?
Yeah, this fight is as you could predict. He gets onto the pommel horse and kicks everybody in the face while doing pommel horse.
Well, everyone
things.
runs into face first into his feet.
Correct.
And he makes it look so easy to do pommel horse.
Well, he's pretty good.
Yeah, he's one of the best. He has a move named after him, the Thomas Flair.
Now, if you can, don't watch the scene for Kurt Thomas. Watch it for the extras. You guys may not have enjoyed this sequence because it took too long. I couldn't get enough of it because the extras steal the show in this shot.
They stink.
They are the worst extras. The Nilbog residents do a better job at saying "robble, robble, robble" than these guys do. It is awful.
There seems to be genuine confusion going on.
They are vexed.
Then when those who's running into his feet, when it's just a big, it's a shit show.
Go, Gary!
Yeah, exactly.
There's like a group of the people are just staring, like watching Kurt Thomas do gymnastics. Like, yeah, he's pretty good. There's two guys playing poker in the back. Another couple are having a conversation, and
every once in a while they'll wave their pitchforks and whatever in the air.
No one is doing a good job of fighting Kurt Thomas.
No.
It's hilarious. So he kicks all their asses and he's chased away again up to now there's German shepherds involved.
They let some dogs loose.
Are the dogs crazy as well?
Yeah.
They
seem
bit
that
some
way.
kid in town and they were like, well, just send him up at the crazies.
Yep. Bananaville, you go.
Yeah.
Dogs. We can either shoot you or I'll take Bananaville. He Spider-Man's up a wall. This part of the movie sucks pretty bad.
He gets to the top of it, and it
leaners
is
out.
Visibly the top of the area that he gets to is the easiest part to climb out of. Out of the entire climb he just did, he got to the easy part, and then he stops, and he starts sounding like a woman having sex.
You know, they say the last step is always the hardest, Sam.
That was
wait.
the first step.
No, that's the first step. Never mind. No, he totally wieners out.
He wieners out. It starts going,
And this is when his dad had the thought, or when that ninja had the thought when he came up on him.
Which is his dad.
Which is his dad. All right, I blew it. Sorry.
who's that ninja? He's your dad.
But my dad's dead. No, he's not.
Just got one arm for no apparent reason.
But like, you know, as a parent, and you know, your dad's a badass, right? And he looks down at you.
Wait, I'm sorry, what?
He's supposedly this badass dude.
He made it as far as the homeless people.
He is supposedly.
Yeah, I said supposedly.
Right.
Geesh. So he looks down at his son, who's like, See, I do it better than you guys because I'm a chick.
That's what Kurt Thomas sounds like.
And, he's got to have that thought. Like, maybe I'll just push his head down and see if he falls back down.
I see you have quite a bit of your mother in you.
Yeah.
I'm so embarrassed. Just
And those are her pants.
Then he splats on the ground and he looks down and goes, he's got a lot of guts. Felt like tossing out a Lazenby there. So Ninja Dad's at the top, and he pulls Kurt Thomas up, and Kurt Thomas now clearly has been bitten in the face by a spider at some point during the making of this film.
Yeah, because you start it's not there when the guy with his hand gets chopped off, but then after that, like just randomly, all of a sudden he's got the perfectly round white dot.
It
in his
is
face.
a large spider bite. It is a dangerous spider bite.
Yeah, it looks like a bad. I can't imagine the makeup like going, oh, this is. He seems like he got bit in the face by a black widow.
Yeah, the makeup did not go, this is what a punch to the face looks like. Because shitty makeup, he just put some purple on people's face. You got punched in the face.
I got bit by a black widow. It looked exactly like that.
That's exactly what it looks like. He took one to the face by a spider. Dangerous film to shoot. So the last obstacle is a 5-mile run. He's chased by Norton and his guys. And Dad gets arrowed in the back. Oh, no! We didn't really even have time to have a fucking relationship, Dad. I haven't seen you in, I guess, well, not that long, I guess.
A year.
We'll get to that. Cabot gets away, and he faces Zamir down, who in a fist fight, and Zamir pulls out a scimitar, and he ends up triple lutzing his neck to death.
I don't know what he does, but it looks real bad.
He thigh masters him.
He thigh masters him.
Suzanne Summer thigh masters this guy.
But he's like upside down and backwards from him.
Yeah.
To where they're in like this reverse V. It is an odd looking thing. His finishing move is among the most awkward that I've ever seen in a film.
It's the Komanichi neck break. That's the move. Yeah, I've seen it done at the Olympics.
The Komanichi neck break.
The Komanichi neck break. Yeah. So now the ninjas are attacking the king and the princess because the coup's still on, I guess. And the people of Parmistan are like, fuck you. So they beat up some ninjas, and the king and the princess get away, and they all run out into the street. But wait, here comes Cabot and Cabot. They're back.
Yep.
Yeah, he went back and got his dad.
Freeze frame. Subtitled, satellite station gets built. Good job. USA. USA.
Yeah.
USA. What?
Yeah.
Should we do the keep an eye out for
Yeah,
us
let's
first?
do keep an eye out.
All right. Who is the craziest citizen of Bananaville? Jackie?
I got to throw a curveball out there.
Okay.
All right.
Because I think the craziest citizen who should be in Banana Bills, is that lady that he wakes up to in the palace is like stroking his head.
Yeah.
As we established,
Pushed
she
him
is a
down.
citizen of Bananaville. So she totally counts.
She counts.
Okay, yeah, that's my pick because
Yeah, it's a
that
good one.
lady was, wow,
That's
something.
a good one. Sam?
She's nuts. I have to go with Shaman. Here's my butt.
Shaman, here's my butt. Yeah.
He's got a robe that just is an assless priest robe. What? Where does that come from?
That is from somebody who knows how to party, Sam.
That's they have those robes in the third back room of the Vatican where the parties happen.
Yeah. Or like Jim Jones's community type. When you're the Jesus of a cult and you get to bang everybody, it's just that guy likes to be banged by everybody.
I guess. I don't know.
I'm gonna go with the ladies, the nuns who
Yeah, they're pretty crazy.
go into a punch me in the face trance. I like them. Favorite abandoned plot line? Sam?
I should go last.
Okay. Jackie?
I'm going with the stork.
Okay.
I didn't get it. I didn't get the plot with the stork guy
No.
anyway. But then it was like, and we never find out about who he's working for, why he's obviously there to kill Cabot.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it. And then it's like, well, he's dead. Okay, moving on.
I jumped through a wall. This guy's not in the movie anymore.
Yeah, that's what happened. I was like,
Why was he in the movie in the first place?
I don't know.
Got nothing.
yeah. Okay, yeah. So Stork. I would have liked to know more about Stork. It was my favorite one.
Mine is pretty much maybe the entire plot of the entire film. Cabot and Cabot. John Cabot Sr. What is his story? Did he die and now he's a spooky ghost, or did he not die and they're like, hey, you're kind of cool. Why don't you become a ninja until your son shows up? And if that's the case, what now? He crosses the line. Does that mean that he also won the game?
It just took him a year. He's in second place.
Yes.
Well, and I would say that the game itself is my favorite abandoned plotline because it's a 5-mile run back into town, not riding some goddamn mules.
Nobody won the
Didn't
game.
finish the fucking game. They rode in on fucking mules, and it doesn't. The game doesn't even get fucking finished in this thing.
You know how the satellite station got built? We just invaded Parmistan and built the damn
Yeah,
thing.
they were like, now that we have some intel, like because he's a colonel, he just radios and just, just send him in. They've got a wall of fucking ninjas
Yeah, just
with hand weapons. There's no reason to not come here.
who would win the game? And by win the game, we can either take any of the pool of players of the game that we've seen, or anyone on Earth.
Yes,
In reality.
fictional or unfictional.
Oh, I did both.
Okay.
All right.
So my in the movie guy that I was rooting for,
Mm-hmm.
who I thought could have probably made it, was yellow jumpsuit guy.
Okay. Gomez,
Yeah.
who got stabbed a bunch.
Well, he made it the furthest.
Well, aside from Cabot and his dad
Yeah.
and Thorg.
Well, Thor
Yeah.
is a fucking cheater.
He actually came in 4th place, even though nobody finished the game.
Well, he was my pick.
The Japanese guy?
No, Gomez.
Gomez. The yellow suit. Yellow
And,
tracksuit.
and
He
what
was in
about real life?
third.
No, because
The
you got to
Japan-
count Cabot Sr.
Oh, that's right. So the Japanese guy's fifth.
And then for just anybody,
Mhm.
I picked Rambo. John Rambo
Okay.
could have kicked ass at this because he would have set traps along the way
Mhm.
for the ninjas, and they would have just been fucked because by the time he would have gotten to Crazy Town, there would have only been like 2 ninjas and Zamir left.
I'm going to go. I'm not going to do anybody in this fucking movie because fuck
Yeah.
them. I'm just going to go along Jackie's lines. Commando. John
Commando,
Matrix.
John Matrix.
Yeah.
I have a real person and a fake person, but neither of them are in the movie.
Okay.
Danton
Yes.
Oh yeah,
for my fake person, and my
Okay.
real person would be Oliver Gruner.
Who's Oliver Gruner?
He's the karate guy star that used to be the French operator for the special forces.
Oh, yeah.
the guy that, like, when you read his history, like, that guy's the real life Danton.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, now let's take our pool of players. It's a 4-man race. Who wins? Between John Rambo, John Matrix,
Danton.
Oliver Gruner, and Michael Danton. Oh, let's toss in Banning just for the hell of it.
Mike Banning.
Mike Banning gets in there too.
Mike Banning.
Mike Banning.
Mike Banning.
Because he brought a gun and just shot all of them.
Yeah.
Just shot them all in the face right in the first 3 seconds.
I don't run. I just shoot people.
I just shoot people.
Let's get drunk.
Yeah. Fuck. I'm thirsty as fuck. Shooting all those guys in 4 seconds.
All right, let's bring on the real questions. I want to start. How does Parmistan work? It's clearly a monarchy,
Yes.
and I'm assuming that the king is the only
Government official.
government official in the entire country.
Doesn't seem to be a very big country, so it might work out that there's only one dude in charge.
It's big enough to have this fucking sporting game on, which isn't that big. It's big enough to be a size, a chunk of real estate
Yeah.
that's large enough that the U.S. would give a shit.
No, we just want the satellite positioning.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
could just put one over there.
We already have one in Turkey.
Yeah. We need one over there, so it's got to be kind of.
I'm thinking that this country is probably as big as Maine.
Okay, I can go with that.
Sure. Yeah. And this is gonna absorb my first question, your first question, because mine was about: is there only 2 towns in Parmistan, the capital and the prison?
Yes.
So that's how the government of Parmistan, I think, works. Is that you have this complete autocrat that is at the top of the chain, and if he says no, you have to go live in the town of crazies.
Where do they get money? What is their primary industry or export that they might have?
I
Who
don't
do
Goats.
they export?
I don't
Goats.
think they export anything. I think they're self-sufficient.
Goats.
Goats. They just make goats,
Goat cheese.
eat the goats,
Goat milk.
Pigs and goats.
and fuck each other.
And the pigs.
And they've been...
Awkwardly. Would you like to watch two citizens of Parmistan have sex?
How were these guys not decimated by Genghis Khan?
Well, I'm sure they were.
But they're free. You can't...
Well,
Genghis
there's
Khan
Genghis-
Genghis Khan didn't come in there because it's 900 years ago since the last time somebody won a game, and it wasn't fucking Genghis Khan.
Maybe Genghis Khan was like, pass. They're piddly. Have you
Yeah,
seen the
he-
women in those towns? I wouldn't even rape any of those women.
So we have to break through a wall of ninjas
Uh-huh.
to get to a town that has nothing and a town full of crazy people. Pass.
Yeah, that's like a no-brainer. You just kind of go around that one.
Parmistan is the dumbest fucking country that's ever been in any movie of all time.
Yes.
None of Parmistan has any basis on reality.
No, Parmistan makes less sense than this movie, which is impossible.
Yes, Parmistan really, for me, is the movie. Because I don't really care for the Gymkata so much, but Parmistan is such a fucking amazing wonderland of disgusting nastiness that it just... Who thought of Parmistan?
Oh boy. It should have, if the movie would have been bigger, it could have been a foreign relations nightmare.
Dude,
This
seriously.
is what you think of other countries?
Which
Yes.
leads me into my whole Donald Trump thing. Because this is Donald Trump's America. Very strong borders. No one can come in. We don't do trade with anybody. We just produce our own shit.
And what I say goes.
And what I say goes, and if you don't like it, you get stuck in Bananaville.
I don't like Parmistan and I don't want to live there.
No! Resist! But seriously,
It is.
he should...
His utopia is Parmistan.
We must keep Gymkata out of the hands of our president because he will be like, do this. That will be the blueprint for the future. This movie changed my life. Do this. And everybody, Gymkata, really? Honestly?
Really, huh?
We got to get a new military plan going.
Everybody does gymnastics and kicking. And
You know it. I know it. You're all Gymkata now.
yeah. Boy, oy, oy. It's just so weird that we watched this at this point in time.
Oh, yeah.
Where Gymkata has become the most politically relevant movie ever made. All right, who's next?
All right. So here's my big question. I got two.
Okay.
So Richard Norton is going to take over, right?
Yes.
And he gets his own army.
Sure.
And the king's
That's already his army.
right. The guy's a dipshit.
Who, Richard Norton?
The king?
The king.
The
king.
Khan.
Yeah.
So why not just push him over the edge somewhere? I mean, why stage this big coup and raise an army?
That's
and
what
shit?
I'm saying.
Yeah.
The king, I mean, sure, the people of Parmistan love the king. That's quite clear. They cheer and defend him and what have you. But seriously,
Do you think they'll remember him next Tuesday?
you live in the fucking palace. You could poison him. You could do anything.
So what's your plan? That's my question. How would you do it?
You win the game because you love it, and then you ride up there and be like, my request is die!
Mhm.
I'm not going to do that. Damn it. I shouldn't have played the game. His plan sucks. I'm with you.
I think I would have won the game and I'd be like, hey, guess what? You're like, what? I want to be the king.
No, you can't have that. I'm the
Okay.
king.
And then you push him down and stab him. And then you're like, now I can.
Yeah, but you can't do that because all the people of Parmistan would
Wow.
rise up and be like, oh, and then they'd kill you.
Yeah, I'm going to go with slow poisoning.
Yeah.
He gets sick. You marry the daughter. And then the daughter gets sick.
Ooh, that's weird.
I'm going with, as far as what we know of the movie, just do nothing.
Yeah,
You're
or
already
do
on the way.
nothing.
You already got that whole thing sewed up.
You can do whatever you want, Richard Norton. You live in the castle. You've probably got bang maids and like those ladies with the grapes and the fans and like bring in more grapes and like
Yeah.
some jester come in and entertain me. You can do whatever you fucking want.
You're already going to marry the daughter princess?
The only thing you can't do is be in charge of a bunch of toothless people. Why would you want that?
Suck.
Yeah. No, this guy's a moron. Sammy.
What the hell happened to Secret Agent, man?
Oh.
Did he stay in the salt room? Yeah, he like busted. I was like, all right, now get going.
I guess. So did you? Kurt Thomas comes back to the estates and finds him, and he's like, "So did you win?" Yeah, I won. Oh, that's cool. Well,
Did you win? No, I rode a donkey in and fucked it
yeah,
up.
I kind of cheated.
Turns out you can just invade Parmistan.
Yeah,
That's
we're just invaded. We did. We already did that.
Okay,
everyone's dead there. We just burned the whole thing to the ground.
Just whatever.
It's a stupid place. Oh, okay.
stupid.
How often is the game played?
Annually, they say that.
Are you sure about that?
Because I kind of thought it looked like, hey, whenever somebody wanders into town.
It seems to be daily.
Daily.
Because
Whenever they get to 8.
no, because they just have those 3 criminals. They play the game, Sam. They play the game the day before. When did Cabot Sr. play it? Maybe a year
6 months ago. Who
Maybe
knows?
2 weeks. Maybe the day before.
They must play it all the time.
They play it all the fucking time.
That's their economy.
Why do they play the game all the fucking time?
Because they're sadistic fucks.
Who is? The citizens
people-
of Parmistan?
yeah.
They can't watch the game. They don't have TV. There's no fucking ESPN. There's no Goodyear blimp flying over. They have no fucking clue until, like, they just sit in the castle area, the main courtyard of town, until they see 2 jackasses ride up on fucking donkeys. Oh, I guess the game's over. What a great game this year. Why do we like this shit?
I don't know.
Let's play checkers. We can all watch us play checkers. We can't partake in the game. It's stupid.
Nope, the game is stupid.
Okay.
Well, the name of the novel was The Terrible Game.
It is a terrible.
It is a terrible game.
It's not fun.
Okay, so my next one. What was your most favorite awkward shot? Like, why did we need to see that?
Probably. What's his name? Monk. Want to see my butt?
Yeah, Shaman, here's my butt.
Yeah. That's pretty okay. Oh, and the Golden Eagle. Honestly,
The Golden Eagle's the most
that's
awkward shot.
What the fuck?
What's the Golden Eagle?
On the ninja trainer's arm.
Oh, yeah.
It's like,
What's that bird do?
dude,
What bird?
See, and for me, the most awkward shot was the close-up of the gymnast's balls
Oh yeah.
as he's going up the stairs.
Yeah, that's a bad shot.
And it's not just like a swing-by shot. It is zing, like just focusing in on this guy's balls as he's walking up the stairs.
It reminds me of my favorite Tim and Eric Awesome Show Great Job episode with pumpers. And you get the nice shot of the tiny shorts of Tim Heidecker's package.
yeah.
It's a bad shot.
Yeah, that was so awkwardly.
Gotta avoid that
There's
one.
a lot of it. Yeah, there's actually 2 times as well. Twice in this movie, they run 3 consecutive shots that are out of focus.
Yeah. Sammy?
My last question.
Mhm.
I'm assuming that the guy from Japan is from Japan and that Gomez is from Spain. What do Japan and Spain want from Parmistan?
What do any of the other countries want? Is it all the satellite substation, or do they have their own fucking objectives?
well, the way that they make it seem in the movie is that everybody needs to put a satellite there. Like, they figured this out. It's only a matter of time. And so other countries are training for it. They're going to go in because they need the satellite too.
They need the early detection system?
Yeah.
Nope.
No, Japan's right next to them.
Hey, look at that fucking rocket.
Yep,
Look
there
out your
it
window.
is.
Whoa, whoops.
We are an early detection system.
It's called eyeballs.
Yeah.
Fanciest tech ever. No, it's so stupid. It's so dumb. The other countries, the whole game, the country, everything. Which leads us into final recommendations. And I'm just going to go ahead and say absolutely, of course. But with a caveat. This movie is so fucking stupid.
Oh, yeah.
It is unbelievably stupid. And at no point is anything awesome in it. This is the only time where I'm going to give a recommendation where nothing... It's like The Room, where it's so bad and nothing awesome happens in it
No.
at all. I want to compare it directly to Megaforce because it's kind of that level of stupid.
Yes.
But Megaforce has awesome in it. And going back to the kid getting his ass kicked in the backyard when he pulls out Gymkata, dude, you see Megaforce and you're like, if I was 8 years old, I kind of wouldn't mind having those toys.
Yeah, Megaforce has... An 8-year-old wouldn't hate Megaforce.
Wouldn't hate Megaforce. Nothing awesome takes place in this movie, but every single bit of it, except for the two way too long shots, the slow motion and the chase through town, is fucking hilarious.
Yes.
So absolutely, but Jesus, is this one of the worst movies ever made?
It's a perfect object of failure. It fails to do anything every time it tries to do something.
Absolutely. Jackie?
I'm with you guys. This film was looking for love in all the wrong places. Looking for love and too many ugly faces.
Yeah, I guess you go to Parmistan looking for love. It's not going to work out for you. But that's
Unless you're John Cabot Jr.
Or senior. Maybe John Cabot Sr.'s been just hanging out in town banging crazy ladies because they don't even know what's going on.
Yeah. Or the guy without the butt.
Or the goat.
Yeah. He's like, we met the monk guy and don't like the view from up here, try around back.
Oh my God.
Go around back, see how you like the view from over there. Oh, hey.
Then he just tries to help the goat get over the fence. That's all I was doing. Just trying to help get over the fence.
Trying to help this monk turn the sink on.
What?
I don't know.
Okay. All right. Next episode is the big one. It's the biggest episode we do every year. It's the SMAPFO Awards. So it will. No, probably going to be a 2-hour long episode.
Most likely.
So tune on that. We won't have a prelude episode beforehand, so you'll only have the Monday episode that week. But it'll be a big one. We're going to make it real exciting, really awesome. Come back to us on then. Get to the chopper.
Visit us at www.stinkermadness.com. Follow Stinker Madness on Twitter at Stinker Madness. Please rate and review us on iTunes and Stitcher. Thank you for listening, and get to the chopper.